Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would do another video here and keep on working on this starter CV. I did dress up some areas from the last video. I kind of said I was going to do that, just kind of work on parts of the body a little bit more. I think I added a little bit in this area, kind of changed this around a bit. I've been working on the thrusters. So this is version 2.0 of thruster mounts. I still have a bit of an issue with the rear profile of the ship. I don't like it that much, and maybe it's the little thingies here or whatnot. So I'm going to probably do another revision to the back end of this, but I think most of it is coming along better now. The sides kind of working out. I keep on debating whether or not I want to try something different with the cockpit area as well. That could be something that gets altered a little bit. I also kind of explored the idea of adding an optional like 6 drills for space mining. I'll look into that too. It's possible. You know, maybe if there is some mechanism up in this area where you can mount drills to. Of course, I'd have to move these thrusters out of the way, and I've got a landing gear back there and stuff too. I don't really like where these front thrusters are there, so I'm kind of looking for other opportunities to pop those in. And then I realized a couple other things too. Like, when I redid the sides, I totally cut all strafing thrusters from it. And right now I've got, well, I guess there's some decent lift thrust back here, especially if you have the bigger ones in there, but it would come stock with the smaller ones, which would give you 6 total lift thrusters of the little ones, the 1x2s, which is what I had to do pretty much with the other starter CVs too. So that's not going to make or break it. But what I wanted to do now is hop inside and see what we got and start to work things out. Now, there's some other bigger parts I have to put in the ship yet. The toughest to place is probably going to be the gravity generator, which is 2x2x2 section, but it's going to need at least 2 generators, potentially more than that. So I'm trying to figure out a nice solution for that too. Generators, often what I'll do is try to throw them up in the rear hangar areas, up in this top section. And I probably will try to do that again. In fact, I'm going to just dump in a couple here. I'm going to go back into symmetry for now. And then probably try to work out some storage as well. And, alright, so, wrong button. There we go. Alright, so let's, my keyboard was misaligned to my fingers. All the buttons I hit were doing the wrong things. All right, I think I got a grip again. Let's just dump a thruster there. Oh, I guess I never did turn on symmetry, did I? I started hitting wrong buttons. That's what I did. All right, there we go. Symmetry. Okay, so we've got 2 generators. Will it need more than that? I don't know. And I purposely did put them next to the edge, just if they're a little bit deeper, probably a little bit safer. All right, so storage. And you know, another thing it's going to need too, before I get going too crazy, I just want some placeholders here for some constructors. Man, I got a lot of blocks here now. All right, now the hangar is skinny. If I were to put the constructors here, it makes the hangar super skinny, too skinny. So what I was thinking about trying to do is either get constructors up along the front here, or try to elevate them a little bit, which would be a different idea. That would still take up some hangar floor space, even if I put them like on this row. I don't know if I would like that or not. It'd be a little rough here with space and size on some of this. Okay, so we have a central elevator, so we don't technically need anything off to the sides here. Some of this may change, obviously, but I'm just trying to work out kind of a general thing here. If the thrusters were there, I'm sorry, thrusters. The constructors were there. would that allow for enough walking out of the back side of the elevator to get into this little engineering area thingy? Probably. But that's only 2 constructors, and I wanted more than that. Granted, it's a starter. But maybe 2 advanced. What if I explore the idea of the little ones, the little baby constructors here? Where are they? Small constructor. There we go. Okay, so say we have constructors there, and could it work out where we also fit some little dinky ones, maybe upside down above those in those locations? And what's up top? That could work, I think, especially if this was a wall here, which I don't want to put in yet. Would that be enough constructors for the ship? Don't know. I don't know. I like the constructors, but that gives you two advanced ones and a bunch of kind of minor processing constructors for little things. That might work out. Again, I could probably fit some constructors in these locations, like here and here, but it would just force me to squash in the hangar to a little bit skinnier way, and I'm going to try to avoid that because I'd rather have a little bit more hangar space too. You get a little bit larger creation in the works, then it definitely helps. Okay, so storage now. Storage is going to be shouldn't be too bad. We'll see though. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to say that we're going to put in our storage controllers, which I love to put them right next to the constructors, something like this. So we got 2 storage controllers either side of the door, and we can replace a lot of these blocks with cargo extensions. And if I do it right and kind of run them over the top of those other constructors too, probably be a good thing. And also along the side walls of the elevator. Let's put in a couple there. So we got two different things. I did want these to be 320K for size. So what I could probably do is just cut this off. There's no reason to go out the back side of the farms at all here. The farms are kind of small, but the whole the ship's not really too big at all. So let's just say if we had those there. So that puts us at 160K each. And let's try to fill in some more nooks and crannies. I mean, nice to find a place though for a gravity generator. I just need one of those. I want to leave that area open for a potential thruster. And I kind of would like to leave the bottom of that exposed so you can see it from the inside of the ship. I wonder how that's going to work out. I don't think that's actually going to work out very, very well. So what are we at now? 288. We probably don't need that there too, so that would take us up to a little bit more. So what do I need? No, we're still at 288. That didn't connect. Okay. That should connect it. 320. Let's remove 1. 312. Okay, so we're exactly at 320 on both of those. That wasn't so bad at all. Again, still looking for gravity generator housing spot. And it's a little light on storage, so yeah, I would like to get more storage in here too, so that's another thing. But gravity generator. That warp core centered like that, that does take up a lot of space. I'm wondering if the warp core got, well, I could push it out by only 1 block, really, maybe 2. Now the shield's there. It's gonna be a little rough with that. Wish the gravity generator wasn't so big. And it does put off a little bit of bad stuff too, so I can't like, this is like a neat location for one, I suppose, right next to the farm, but I have a feeling it would screw with the farm if I did that. But I've got this kind of weird area above the shield that would need a floor or something there anyway, regardless of how I want to do it. I'm kind of wondering if that might be a good spot, although it would be a lot better if it was down in here somewhere, down in the engineering area. Okay, so what happens if we pull the shield, or I'm sorry, the warp core, and then oh, I already had some of those. Let's put in the warp core. Can we skew it off to the one side here like that? So that leaves a little bit more room on this side, potentially enough though to actually pop in a gravity generator out in this front section. Something like that. That would be far enough underneath the floor for it. Kind of weird. I didn't really want to do that, but yeah, you kind of have to make some sacrifices on these little ships. You just do not have the space to do things super awesome with layout of parts most of the time. I had to do those same compromises to the rest of the starter CVs too, so it's not end of the world or anything. Alright, so that is 2 storage controllers. Be kind of neat if I could double that, get it to 4. Well, 2 320s. I got to pay attention here though. So the Wayfarer had let's see, let me give some juice to this thing too. So the Wayfarer had a 320. Oh, I had more than that, didn't it? Oh my god, the Wayfarer didn't have much storage at all, did it? Single 320. Am I reading that right? I know it's got some ammo storage too. Industrial, bunch of logistics controller. Yeah, I think that's it. A single 320. Now I changed that around in the MCRN. The MCRN had, I think, more but smaller storage in it. I'm lost. Okay. Where did I put those? We got... What? Oh, that's ammo. Okay, so 240. So this one had 2 240s. And the Creel had 2 Okay, that's ammo. Had 2 200s, 3 200s. You know what? No, I gotta stop. I gotta stop where I'm at. I was kind of misreading that. If it's gonna be a starter CV, it fit in starter CV CPU with vanilla and reforged Eden. I'm already pushing the storage about quite a bit. Well, I'll figure. Okay, so the Creel had 3 200s in it, so that's 600, and the Wayfarer only had a single 320. The MCR and Pioneer had kind of in between the other two. This one already has more storage than the other 2 ships, with 2 320s in it. Interesting. So yeah, I guess I stop there and see if I can make this work yet with CPU. That'd be a thing. All right, so with CPU as well, let me grab some more little thrusters. It's lacking strafing thrust, and I got to fix that. It's kind of important that it has all its thrusters, or it's going to just float off to the side uncontrollably. Even though I don't care about like strafing speed. I want it to turn, but these don't really necessarily affect the turning speed. And right now, the best locations, let's see, what would be the good location to pop in 1 or 2 side strafing thrust. A little bit out of the way. Yeah, obviously you got to put stuff in here pretty tightly to make this work. What's right back here? Oh, those are really close to the hangar there, where you'd get fried if you walk over there. If I put them, that'd be a nice location for them, though. They kind of fit there. I could use the shaped ones, something like that. Kind of looks like they're supposed to go there too. But this is really bad over here. If you walk over to the wall here and those things are on, you're going to get splashed with heat and radiation. And I don't want to put a wall here, because that's in interior hangar locations. What if I cheat? What if I cheat? I was saying up and down, I don't need much strafing thruster, and the whole way, the only way this build's going to work and be like low CPU, like tier 2 kind of CPU for a starter, is that I go cheap. I go cheap on these things. So let's try to downgrade those to the little buggers. See if these can work somehow. Don't like them though. I hate these thrusters because they can't shape them either, which is kind of okay. So that looks stupid, but they're out of the way. They are out of the way, so that would be nice there. Nice full block of space between that and the thrusters. The block work on the bottom here would have to change some to make that look even remotely close to correct. Or make it look like a thing. Let's try making it look like a thing. Hopefully you see what I mean by that in a second. Like, I'm trying to make it look like it's its own little part again, which is probably the best way to go on in most situations. At least that's what I've been finding out. It's you can try to like completely shape it or try to make it shape with the rest of the body, but it'll probably look better in the end if it wasn't. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to follow that through. What if... Okay, those aren't going to work either. I'm trying to find a nice block that I could put here that would tie into that and make a solid interior wall. If I do that, that won't work. If I go to this would work up to a point. I could put some couple blocks there. And I can probably deal with that. Not too bad. Alright, so strafing thrusters, they're cheap. There's 2 of them, but they're dinky little things. That's just for stability. That's just so basically you don't float away going side to side. You have some control. If you don't have any thrusters there, you're not going to be able to stop. You'll get into space and just keep floating and be a nightmare to pilot the ship. So that will make a huge difference. Okay, so 2 320s. I'll try to run with that for now, but I might have to cut. Well, maybe I'll try to find other things to cut. What's the CPU looking like right now? Let's see, and CPU tier 2. Let me put in the standard reforged Eden blocks. So this one was going to need a basic, and then I would want to give it room to put in other things. So I guess there's not much in CPU blocks to put in here. That takes it to 400,000. I'm at 566, but I'm at 566 because I got some big thrusters in here yet. Let's pull out the big ones for now because they're not going to come with it stock anyway. Is that all of them? Yeah, I think so. There wasn't that many big thrusters or anything like that. Okay, but then we got to put in regular thrusters. We're going to get really obscured numbers here. So let's put in these in their place. So on the back, I'd probably do something like this, but leave the spot for the big thrusters. So that would put in our forward thrust. Now we got to put in our lift thrust, which would need to be something like up here. It's going to be weird to fit these in. Okay, so we've got those there. So that would be our 6 lift thrusters, our 4 forward flying thrusters. What's the CPU look like now? 466. Okay. Now that is also considering I added in a bunch of constructors. Let's try to get rid of a set here. Take off symmetry again. Get rid of one set of those. 436. Now we do have a shield and a warp drive in here yet too. What shield do I have in here? Oh, yeah, let's put in a dreadnought shield. It's perfect. Okay, so there's different shield generators. Being a starter, I'm going to go for the lowered CPU one, and I'm going to try to put in the regular shield generator here. Is that what I had in there? Okay, 436. Oh, you know, I also got more turrets on it than would come stock. When I did some modifications too, I did add a turret position there and up here as well to give it, I think, a total of 9 turrets. Yeah, so we got 7 up top and then 2 here. So 9 turrets. That's too many for a starter. I do like that position though. So if I was going to cut turrets off here, I think these would be the least capable position there, and maybe we could get rid of the 2 that are here as well. Just trying to look at coverage. I do kind of like these bottom turrets here that could shoot at things at different angles that the other turrets couldn't do. So that would leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turrets. What does that do for our CPU? Okay, so now our CPU is starting to look a little bit more manageable, but I mean, the ship isn't done. It needs a couple more parts yet to make this work out. Hopefully gravity generators aren't a huge CPU. Okay, they're 1,000. That's not so bad. And we already put in 2 power generators. We're going to need fuel tanks too. This whole area is weird. Obviously, oh, I did have a gravity generator in there already. Okay, so never mind. So we got 2 320K storage. We don't have ammo. We don't have ammo storage. And I think I was just going to use ammo boxes for that instead of a full-blown controller. I mean, at the most, this would have 9 turrets. Maybe 2 ammo boxes. Each one of these is, I think, like 12K or 14K. And where would be a neat location to put some ammo that would be convenient for you when you're using the ship? I kind of like this little cluster too. It's kind of compact, gives you like all the options. Well, you know, provided it's not too extreme, but pretty much all the options you might want. I'm just kind of seeing if I could rotate these in such a way to make them look kind of neat. So say we had an ammo box there and there. Okay, so we're still cool on CPU. Fuel tanks. This stuff is important. I usually like to get storage in place and then all these other components in place, and then after that you can start working on the interior. But it's kind of like if you try to like do block work for the interior before this is done, you'll probably end up wiping it out most of the time and having to redo it, so that doesn't make much sense. I'm going to grab a few other little things that the ship would probably want, like Wi-Fi and oxygen. And there's some little doodad things too, obviously, like cooking stations and healing bays and detectors. Oh, detector. Yeah, probably going to need one of those too. All right. More stuff. More stuff. Okay, so I don't have to worry about the gravity generator. That's okay. CPU is okay on that. I don't think these things care about... I'll just pop one in for now, but I don't think that's a CPU thing at all. Got a little bit of room in some places here yet, too. Okay, but hypothetically, we can remove a lot of this later. So a detector, Wi-Fi, so fuel. And I wasn't going to go with the bigger fuel tanks because they need a higher unlock level at 15. I wanted to keep this unlock level at 10. And you can't. I don't know if it's possible to go below 10 with a CV. It might be, but I wouldn't want to use a smaller fuel tank than this. I don't really want to put fuel tanks next to generators either. That's kind of a bad place to put them, I would say. But you know, there's some room over here. Just trying to keep these like at least kind of separated. Well, anyway, let's put in 4 fuel tanks. They'll obviously probably move or get altered in some way. Let's take a look again, look at our CPU. Okay, we're still okay. Still got a little bit. What else? What else are we going to need in here? We're going to need... Probably will leave out armor repair because that... Oh, no, actually, that's only unlock level 7. There's some reason in the past that I wasn't putting those in on starters because of something that they needed. I thought it was unlock level, but maybe that changed or I'm mistaken. One of the two. Okay, fridge. Whisters. I kind of wish there was a different way to handle this. This whole... I lose parts when I put it in this thing, and I always need more than it can hold, so I'm always like ditching parts to only regather them again. And then there's not enough spaces down here to put them all, and I always wish it could be a little bit better here. Let's see, we need a food processor. Okay, so cooking, food processor, armor repair. I'm going to just lay some of this out in the middle to check CPU levels right now. Okay, so see it had those, and what else am I missing? I'm missing an armor locker. Alright, armor locker. Okay, oh, and med stuff. Bunch of med stuff. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't need combat steel blocks or base starter. Okay. Alright, med. Okay, so this has all the other med things in there. I'm going to see if I can add them all. And see if it's happy with CPU with that. Again, temporary placeholder. Just adding CPU. Okay, 394. 394. Okay. So now, are the 2 generators in here enough? Well, you know what? This thing is now movable. So let me fill it up with that. I don't care about oxygen right now. Oh, it's not almost movable. It needs a pilot seat. Probably go like here. Alright, so flying around. Obviously in space I'm not having any power issues, but we're going to go down to the surface here in a minute. So turning is meh. Turning speed's not great. Granted, I've got the stock thrusters in here and not anything too special. I'm pretty sure if I put in the bigger thrusters, the turn speed would drastically change from that as well. But what I really wanted to do is check power. Okay, so let's do something else here. Let's fill up the pentaxid. Oh, I don't have any pentaxid. Yeah, I do. Why can't I? Oh, it's got no pentaxid tank. That's something. That'll do it. Alright, so pentaxid tank. Shuffle something out of here so I can grab the other part. This is just one of these, all these steps that I'm doing in here. It's just kind of like needed. Once I get to the certain point, I do this every time. It's like once you get the body done and your general layout and stuff, you just gotta make sure the numbers are gonna work. It's better to find out now if there's a problem than later. That's for sure. Okay, so we're gonna kick on the shield. Oh, the pentaxid tank jumped my CPU up above. Why do you charge CPU for the pentaxid tank? That's just silly. Oh, well, that means I'm gonna have to lower the CPU down some more yet. But what I'm doing is right now I'm flying around, hitting a bunch of directions and lifting and flying to see if I can see if the generators will hold. And I'd say that they're doing okay. About the best I could get it to here is about 60% usage, which yeah, I'm pretty cool with. It's a little bit better than I expected, actually. So, especially in Reforged Eden, where I'm at. So, vanilla probably would be a little less. So let's land this on the ground for the first time and see what it looks like landed. Okay, so the landing gear work. Let's test the ramps. The ramps are coming down to the ground correctly. Alright, so not too bad. I got a couple exterior lights. I'm going to do something right now. It's been my newer way to do it. Rather than adding switches, I'll do like, I'll just do spotlights, give it a name, and I'll run over to these things, hit P on them, hop into their signal logic here, and set those to spotlights. Okay. Now they are off. I do not like the spotlights on when you first spawn in a ship. It's cool to have spotlights sometimes, but I just don't like them on by default. That's my only thing. I did that in the past on a couple of creations, and I since found that annoying, and then I changed it. All right, so what this has right now is I think everything for a functional operation, except I'm a little bit over on CPU yet again because I added the pentaxid tank, which kind of threw me a curveball. Didn't expect the CPU to go up much from a pentaxid tank. So how do you save? About 5,000 CPU from here. How do you do it? How do you do it? What kind of warp do I have in here right now? Is this a basic warp or is this the bigger warp? Let me find out. I think that, oh, you know, warp drive. I think I had, yeah, it was a standard warp, so that was okay. Let's undo that. Okay, so the warp's okay. Man, this is one of those predicaments. I mean, I could remove a couple more guns. I don't want to, in this build, I'm trying not to remove the retractable up there, but I guess these would be the next group of guns that I would take off by stock. And that fixes it, and that gives us actually about 20,000 CPU more. It'd be nice to, I could run like one more turret. I could technically pull this turret out of here. Let's try that approach. I don't know if I like that retractable there anyway. I tell you what really messed me up though is that pentaxid tank. I did not expect the CPU jump from the pentaxid tank. It just to me didn't seem like it made a lot of sense to charge so much. It's required if you have the other things. You're already getting charged for those other things, and you can only put in one. So I don't know why there's such a high cost for it. Alright, so if it had a 4 turret set up, then we're at 391. We're good again on CPU. Alright. That's not too bad. So everything works. We got two 320k storage. We have 2 ammo boxes, and these ammo boxes each have wrong button. 14k, so 28k ammo. 2 generators, basic CPU core, full med bay, cooking stuff, armor stuff, constructor stuff. And that is an advanced constructor too. You know, and that is another place. Well, hold on. What is an advanced constructor's unlock in specs here? Okay, unlock level 10. See, now you could go with a large constructor too. That is an alternative option. Let's say I went with let's try to remove some more out of here. And where's the large constructor? There. Okay, so let's say we had 2 of those, and then the small constructors are kind of pricey too. CPU are these 5,000 each. Ouch. I'm just curious what happens. Although the advanced constructor would probably be more worthwhile if it had 2 of those and more of these. But you know, then you can process certain things. But I guess until you upgrade it, and that puts it over in CPU anyway. Okay, so scrap that idea. Yeah, we're just gonna have to keep that advanced in a single. I think that's the only way to make this work out. I would hate to not have an advanced constructor. That would be kind of that'd be a bad thing. No, I can't find them. All right. Okay, advanced constructor. CPU good. A little bit left over. And 4 turret setup. I guess that's right in the mix. Now, what could change here, though, if it didn't have a retractable turret there, it could have some form of drone hatch or something like that, or just kind of leave it ceiling in a place for you to put another turret. It's not a terrible location for a turret. I don't necessarily like it being so close to where the pilot sits, so, and being up front. So it'd be kind of like a beacon. If the bad guys, like, if you're flying somewhere and you get like hit by something, they may aim at that turret that's right above where you sit or in general proximity, or where passengers are sitting. And if they target that, it would put a hole in the ceiling if they blew it up, and that could cause a problem. So, you know what? Let's just try it like this, and let me try to come up with a simple but functioning drone hatch. How should I do it? I'd rather, you know, I think I don't know if I want to go with this route either, with a door. Kind of small. Could do this with louvers better, I think, but they're not as strong. Let's try to come over here and just draw the surface again. Let me turn up the light. Okay, so actually, what am I doing those blocks for there? Just trying to think about a louver door mechanism that could work for this. Or shutter doors. Should it be bigger like that? Probably look nicer if it was that kind of door. And then these could just pretty much be full blocks here. At least for now. I'll probably change on the inside. Could try to dress up the area out here a little bit then too. Maybe put in some little trimmy things on the sides. Maybe something like that. Alright, well, anyway, I think I'll stop there. Now, the next video on this, I'm going to actually, like, go through and try to make the interior look like something. Right now, it was trying to work out the numbers. Make sure the numbers work. Now, this is an obvious problem I've got over here, though, too. Obviously, these bays are designed to put in the bigger thruster, but when the bigger thruster is not in place, they are not sealed. So I'd have to add in some block work or something up here, at least back on the back side here to seal that off. So it's not really a big thing. Actually, you know what? I can't put blocks here though because I'm trying to leave that area open for the big thrusters. But I think that would seal it like that. Oh. Yeah, and the other side, I suppose. Yeah. Not sure. Hopefully this won't affect the CPU too much. Doing that. Now the rest of the stuff that I'm putting in is mostly just carbon substrate interior blocks, mainly for looks, and some lights and things like that. So I don't think the rest of it'll affect size class. Speaking of that, I don't even know what the size class is. 133. So this is definitely going to be a size class 2 creation, I think, in the end again. Very similar to that of the other starter CVs. So relatively the same size class. I'm just trying to think on how this compares in features compared to the Wayfarer, or the Pioneer, or the Creel Shade. It's not too unique. This one may have slightly more storage than the other ones, and a little bit more overall docking space. Maybe not on the Wayfarer. The Wayfarer's got a pretty wide docking area on it. But storage-wise, 2 320s plus another 24K ammo. Question is, can it lift with all that weight with stock thrusters? Don't know yet. Maybe. Or it might struggle. I would bet it would struggle, but it might still get off the ground. But rest assured, you could put in better thrust in it, and which I think would help it a lot with getting around. But anyway, the idea of this one was I wanted a starter CV for the other race, which I don't know. I guess I just thinking about them as Imperials. I know I was told not to use that, but I didn't like the alternative names like Monarchy or other things. It just didn't sound right for a space game. So anyway, they'd get a starter CV, and it would be kind of similar to that of the other starter CVs for the other factions. Spec-wise and stuff is similar. It's just an alternative option. This one I'd probably say is a little bit bigger in overall size versus the other one. So it's got like the Wayfarer size. Also with farm plots in it. So And there's some room up here too. If I can, man, I wish there was a warp core that wasn't 3 blocks tall. That would be kind of neat. Well, there is for Reforged Eden, but yeah, I don't want to use that one. It's only Reforged Eden and won't work in vanilla then, and don't even want to mess with it. All right, well, anyway, I think I'll stop the video there, and got a little bit of work done. I know it wasn't too exciting, but this is that one area where, you know, you got to do it. You got to do it to all your creations. You know, you get it to a certain point, you got to get that planning in there, get the numbers to work. See, you know, test your generators. See if you can fly on the surface. My big unknown. Everything I'm pretty confident will work at this point, except my big unknown is can it lift a full volume of weight with stock thrusters? That is something it may not be able to do, or at least struggle with. It probably won't be super happy with it. My strafing thrust is weak. I know that much too. I don't know. Maybe I got a tiny little bit of CPU. Maybe I can dump in like another a little tiny strafing thruster somewhere. But strafing thrust is like the least important thrust. Well, down thrust is not very important either. I'll play with the numbers. I'll see if I can get a little more performance out of it without sacrificing anything really much noticeable. Anyway, you all have yourself a good day. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.